May 3rd, 2017 garden update. Just show what's growing on, what the weather's like this year, and how everything's growing. We've had a kind of strange spring. We just had about a week ago, 3/4 of a week ago, we had 8 inches of rain. But before that, we really didn't have that much. But it went from being really warm early on, and then it cooled off again, and now it's warmed back up. So everything's really, it got an early start, and it didn't get too cold, so it just kept growing. And everything's really slept up and got growing fast this year. This bed I haven't really got much off the spring, just the way I got it going. But these are just transplant lettuces in the front here, from the front yard. I just put in here just to see what happened, and they're bolting and going to seed. So I think I'm just gonna let those bolt, go to seed. And I did the Chinese cabbage. That's really sweet. But those have been fun just to pick the flowers. They taste really good. They're really sweet. But normally, I think I'd rather plant those in the fall. What are you doing? Because they won't bolt, and you can get a lot more mass out of them. But these are, you get a good amount of mass out too when they bolt. Because when they bolt, that genetic line just tells that plant to just grow high, put a lot of flowers and a lot of energy out. One last bolt, and even though it's not the most desirable plant, all lanky and bolting like that, you still get a lot out of it. The flowers, because every time you pick a flower, it branches out and makes some more flowers. These are okra. I did these. I got them cheap at the store. Some transplants. I usually just do them by seed and do a late start on them before it gets once it gets really hot. But I did transplants. I got them in the ground early this year, so I'm curious just to see the growth pattern. I think I could have just planted them by seed and got the same growth, but whatever. It was fun to try it. A couple radishes left there. But once this is done, I might pull that lettuce out. I think I might just finish that with some red Russian, or maybe the rest of it with okra. This bed, I'm going to do the same layout as last year. 2 cherry tomato plants. That sorrel's gotten bigger. I think that direct sun here is going to be too much for it, but it's growing like crazy. Some kale there. That rosemary I'm going to throw over there, start getting something going on that side. Thyme's still here. One of the thyme survived. But these are some larger diameter cherry tomatoes that I'm going to try this year. Oh yeah, and this, guys, I have 2 cuttings from the collard tree I'm going to be able to save. This worked out pretty good. I just chopped this off, and some sprouted from the bottom and lasted through the winter. And I just took a cutting off of that and stuck it over here. I'm about to do the same thing with that one, cut that and get it propagated and going. The perennial bed is still a work in progress, but I'm not in a hurry. I think in another year or 2, this is going to be a nice little bed. The miner's lettuce, Clatonia. I forgot the other one. I got basically 2 patches of some self-seeding perennials that is overseeded. I'm going to let that. It's already gone to seed, and it's starting to dry up, so I just dumped a bunch of worm casting on top of that, and I got some other compost I'm going to stir in there, and once all those flowers are dried up and the seeds are dry, I'm going to chop all that in and mix it with the compost and just keep it watered and see what happens over the year. I might throw a couple other plants in here with it. The perennial arugula, it survived for a second year, so this is going to be something that's going to be nice to have in here. I really like that. It's hot compared to the store arugula, but it's a good accent. Red vein sorrel. I thought I got 5 or 10, I think it was 10 Egyptian walking onions in the mail, and only 3 survived, and I am babying this big one because this is going to be my mama that puts the other stuff out. These other 2 are struggling, but I think they're going to survive. So hopefully I'll be able to get those spreading all throughout the bed. The asparagus, this is my leftover asparagus. These are the, last year I got 3 little dinky ones from my neighbor. He had some like dinky 1-year crowns, and they've come back. And I got some more asparagus I planted in this far right bank, or right bed corner, and the small leftovers I put over here. So this is my dinky asparagus patch that's slowly gonna grow out. But after I start getting all this a good mix in here, this is gonna be a nice little bed. I just gotta get the soil right. I put it right in my yard soil, and there's just, you know, hardly any nutrients in there. So I'm slowly getting that bed up to par. I had an extra eggplants that are stuck in the ground there. We'll see what happens. The sugar snaps are growing fast, and they just started flowering like 2 days, last Saturday, and since then it's already put off all these other flowers. So this thing is about to really start putting off some sugar snaps, which I absolutely love. So I'm looking forward to that. Put some beets in front of it, and the Malabar spinach, the red vine. See those little guys in the corner? I had 1 vine going up here, or 2 vines, and it just covered this whole side last year and dropped those seeds. I've been picking seeds, or little babies, off this bed like crazy. That is an invasive. That's a great plant to have because it's invasive as hell, and it feeds you. So if you're looking at an easy plant that you'll never have to buy again, just get some Malabar spinach. You might have to do some extra weed picking, but it's worth it. You see they're all down through here. It's in my yard, it's everywhere, but that's good. This is a asparagus patch, which I'm a little scared because I put some monster crowns in here, and I've only got 1 popped up right there's, and little tinky dinkies right there. And that's I have 10 big crowns in here. I'm hoping it didn't get too wet and rotted them out, but I don't know. I think that's just my lack of experience, not knowing what to expect. But hopefully this is going to turn into a gnarly little asparagus patch. Oh yeah, the cherry. I was hoping my ground cherries self-seeded, and you see that little plant right there? There's one right there. Let me see if I can get it there. One's popping up there. The bugs are getting it though. I'm gonna have to put something on it. I've got 2 of those popping up, volunteers, and actually 1 right over here too. Right there. So I'm gonna let those mature and get some more ground cherries in here and just kind of let them do their own thing in here. More beets here. The transplant lettuce popped up. That's good to see. Some perennial spinach. Just a real hardy variety of Swiss chard right here and right there. I'm gonna let those bunch out, and actually 1 right there too. So 1, 2, 3 Swiss chards. This was just some regular old arugula I got from the store, but I think it's actually the same perennial arugula, or something very similar to what I've got over there in the perennial bed, because it's doing well. Again, that's like a really hot one, but it's still good. I like it. It's almost like a radish. It's so hot. Not hot, just very strong arugula. The lettuce, jeez, going nuts. I really shouldn't have done it that thick, but you know, when your fingers are dirty and wet and you're putting those little teeny seeds out, I never can quite get them small, or get a small enough batch to get them separated. But those are going crazy. I gotta get eating this. I've just started eating it. I've just been lazy about getting it. But lettuce kicking ass. Put one of my eggplants right there. So eggplant there, and way over there I got a little hole in the middle of that green patch there. I stuck one in there. I had my Egyptian, or what it's called, the spinach, Egyptian spinach, there last year. Oh yeah, look at this. That's where I had my Malabar last year too, and it's self-seeding. Those just started popping up. I thought I was only going to have them around the edge, which I was scared because the edges end up being drier, you have to water more. So I'm glad to see some right in the middle here where it's wetter pop up. So this whole cage will be Malabar spinach eventually. Oh yeah, before I leave here, this is sunchoke patch kicking. And this is another invasive like species. So you got to be careful. You see it's already starting to sprout. The tubers coming out of the edges of it. The tubers go in the ground and eventually work their way out. You just got to keep cutting the edges and not letting it spread. But those did really well. I got 6 monster bags of those blanched in the freezer. What's up, G? What's up? Oh, here you go. Some more Swiss chard, just different varieties. These are like the rainbows, I think. And some of those over there, those are like the red, ruby red or something like that. Dinosaur kale, kicking. Front yard, I'm not gonna worry about going over there. Front yard, that's doing really well too. I got peppers out. I ended up doing 10 peppers, 2 varieties, red bell, and I can't remember the other ones I did, maybe poblanos. And I got some more Swiss chard out there. I love Swiss chard, so I got that planted everywhere this year. And some scallions, and a couple kale plants out there too. So overall, everything's growing great. Hey, the blueberries, I'm really happy with the blueberries this year. I don't know if you see it. This one's putting them out on all ends. It's big old patches of them. So I'm gonna have a lot of blueberries off this bush and this one. You see they're all over it. So it'll be interesting to see if I get them or if the birds get them. What are you doing? But either way, they're fun to have back here. Me not knowing much about blueberries, I planted them right next to my water gardener, but I think I'll just keep that back trimmed up and just let these 2 plants grow together and just really bush out. I think I'll eventually get rid of this butterfly bush and plant a couple more blueberry bushes right here and have a big old blueberry patch. We will see. That's about it. Peace out.